Dear Venerable Sisters and Brothers, Dhamma friends, we are going to have the last in the series of the Dhamma talk. So you may all settle down and give the consent with 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Katanca bhikkhave bhikkhu aroha parinaha sampanno hoti ida bhikkhave bhikkhu labhi hoti chīvara pindapāta sēnāsana gilāna paccaya bēsajja parikkārānantīti. Dear Venerable Sisters, Dhamma friends, we are presently discussing discourse given by the Buddha with the simile of a royal horse or thoroughbred horse. How a wild horse become a thoroughbred horse and worthy of a king, become an accessory of a king and reckoned as a factor of kingship. So likewise we are also born as the worldlings and then met up with true people and noble people, and slowly we have to be a true person. We have to be a noble person. At the beginning we never think even, because we think we are just under the hands of noble people and the true people. How can I become a noble person? How can I become a true person? Because I am just learning, I am a beginner, I am just started with. But when you keep on practicing, or in the sense that is what the Buddha wanted to teach you, when you keep on practicing, ultimately you understand already you are a noble. Already you are a true person. And for that, 4 characters, 4 milestones, that one after the other is in the linear relationship, very, very sequential. Applicable for any person. Whatever the starting point, we call worldlings or commoners. In Pali vocabulary it called putujana, worldlings, a man from the street. So whenever such a person come and the Buddha is leading to make another Buddha, that is the difference of the teaching of the Buddha. The teaching is, he teach how to be a Buddha. So when I was a young, notorious or naughty boy, I never thought, my family member never thought I will be a gentleman even. No. It was such a nasty and such a naughty. And I also never thought I can go to a monk. I don't know how to behave in front of a monk, how to behave in front of a gentleman. Because you are so sluggish and guilty. Because all the time sneaky and doing all the dirty things, but never thought. Even when I was in the university in the second year, I thought that people will respect me, but I am such a lowly person. How can I possess this kind of a thing? I went to my advanced level teacher, taught us botany and zoology. I told, Madam, what can I do? I have been selected for this kind of a great job. But all the people coming to the university are great people, but I am just a bumpkin. You know what you are talking about. Now you are already there. No, don't worry. Once you go to the university, they will give a degree. They will never leave your side without a degree. You have done everything. They are hilarious and you jubilate. I don't know. I never expected, because my family members are top bright people. Double promotion, double maths, and I am the bumpkin at home. So selecting to a university, I never thought. The university and the river and my house I thought when I am jumping, I will fall into the river, never to the other shore. No one in our university, our school, no one at my home thought. And when I go there, I thought I am learning science. So one day when such a thing happened, one person came and asked one of the batchmates, hello friend, can I come to the meditation session? Meditation? I am an utter robber. I am such a lowly person. No, don't worry about that. We need heads. We need some people to come and fill. Then what is the purpose of? I have a girlfriend, she is coming to the hall, that now class is going to end. If you also are not coming, that will end and that will be the end of the love affair. So please come. Then I told her, under such circumstances, definitely I must come and help. Not to Nibbana. So when I go there, Venerable Dhammika was sitting there, one person is coming and talking about the Jersey and Frisian cows. This monkey is talking about the Ayrshire and Frisian, that is my subject. So after waiting few minutes, it's dragging. 9:30 in the evening. Then I approached him. He kicked me out, just like as if a rattlesnake came into the house like. Or a rat snake came into the house like. He told, well, you are not nonsense. Coming and talking with you, what do you have to talk? Then I thought of talking with you. No, I have no idea of talking with you. Get out. I asked him, am I Bhante, am I disturbing you? No, not disturbing, no use of teaching you. I have tried Sri Lankan, they are utterly useless fellows. No one is learning. Then I asked, what are you going to teach me? He told mindfulness. Then I told, I don't know. I've never taught. I got the Buddhism credit pass, but no, not a single teacher taught me mindfulness. Then I told, definitely Bhante, I am a failure because I don't know, even not introduced now yet. So that is why I told that you no use of telling you, because Sri Lanka is the most luxurious country on the earth to practice meditation, but no one is practicing. It is a wastage, it's a consumerization, it's wasting the time. So you are yet another person. Then I told that is true, but I would like to know. No use of telling you. If it is to come next day, also at 9:30 night, I again went there. Again blackguarding me telling. Again I went there, and after that, I took 8 years. I never thought teaching someone. Because it is a bad thing in mindfulness. You have to learn, you have to be a beginner. You must never claim as a teacher, because that is a kind of a boosting of your egotistic idea. So later I thought that the life there, of course, Venerable Dhammika gave 3 conditions. I took seriously. He told, never tell anyone that you are practicing. No one will understand. Whole Sri Lanka is going to hell. They are not practicing. So you are a young fellow, no one will believe, don't tell. The second thing is, I know you are a young person, but don't marry. If you married, I stop at that level, I don't tell anything. Third one, after getting the degree, don't do a job. It's a burden of beast. Doing a job means you are utterly wasting your time. So ultimately it happened me to do a job. I was working in a Norwegian company that I broken. And then after a while I thought, no use of being as a layperson. No one believed me. After 8 years I thought, I was so far, was find fault with monks. I thought the monks are universal jokers. They never live up to the monkhood, for my eyes. So it happened me to be a monk, because I found very difficult otherwise to full-time meditation. So when I becoming a monk, Venerable Dhammika told, don't do it. you will disrobe next day. So once I become a monk, I come to this place. It's a coincidence. I found it's a heaven prepared for me. Whole my life I can't make a place like this. And actually I came, and everyone coming here meditating. Each and every person coming to Nissarana talking about meditation. So far I was in a world, no word even mindfulness. And I found very easy to adopt into. Very easy to adopt into. But I was not aware there are 4 stages and this is how it happens. It doesn't matter because I close my door, I practice. I had an enormous time from 88 to 92. No one is coming, no one knows. And no one knew that where I am. So far I was very, very social person. And no problem. I eat as a lay life 5 times a day. Now I have only balance with only 1 meal or 2 meals. I thought it will be the most difficult thing. No, it is not difficult. So this is how just a bumpkin becoming a monk. It is in this very life. And so happy. I never regret. So happy. I know you will be very, very jealousy. Can't help. I am not a Brahma, I am not Deva, I am not a mystic, I am a human. I am telling you that the miracle the mindfulness is doing, you all are still doing it half-hearted. You all are doing it as a part-time job. No one made up your mind. That is why you are waiting and listening how to become a thoroughbred horse, how to be a true person, how to be a, noble person. You are already noble. You don't know. You have just to live up to that. Finished. Buddha is giving that kind of a catalytic effect. He was very, very efficient. Any person from any state of life, any walk of life, he says, you are a human. I am also human. What else? Need know anything. Don't worry. We are fully endowed. We are with the birthright of human life. And still, but Buddha says, if you have doubt, even you become a monk and even you are practicing, am I on the correct path or am I on the purification path? Then the Buddha says, how the thoroughbred horse selected, it has a nice appearance. Look at this place, everyone is white clad. How beautiful. Ask these girls to go and do cosmetics and come, how much ugly they are then. When you are going to the office and other kind of thing, doing all kind of face lifting and cosmetics and kind of thing. So you have a fear for rain, because if you get rain and soaked in rain after the cosmetics, finished. But now you can go to the outside and come exactly the same. And see the brown robe. The beautiful, most beautiful costume. Is it just a square piece of cloth? When it is done with, that is the most beautiful figure on the earth. We don't do any cosmetics, we do bald head. No hairstyles, no afro, no other hairstyles. How beautiful. See the figure. There are extraordinarily 32 characters in the Buddha's body. It's called Maha. It's a great person. No cosmetics. And if you go to pharmaceutical industry and ask how to be a beautiful, what will be their recommendation and prescription? One facial, if you want to do, it takes about 5 lakhs. Before going to film or something like that, you have to make up the kind of. But you see the way the Buddha made ourselves, what a beautiful. But just go out of this wood, the iron gate, you are not accepted. You can't go with this costume to your office. They will not accept. They will say it's a kind of a protest. You can't. You have to expose yourself. That is the costume. That's the way of the dressing they need. So much expensive, but the all unexposable parts are exposed. That is the present day styles. Very ugly. They don't know. But just see a nun or a monk or a upasika, how beautiful. And you won't believe, when I was in Burma, for 1 month, April, 250 boys from 8 to 18 and 250 girls from 8 to 18 become ordained within one ceremony. After the young girls done with the robes, such a beauty. They are fresh. They come to learn Buddhist culture. And we used to support it, how to do doing robing and kind of thing for the male side, and the female side. Boys are, Samaneras are so naughty. Very difficult to maintain 250. But the girls, once are becoming, it's so Burmese, so exactly these live photos here. Such a beauty. So this is a part and partial. Don't believe, don't think that Buddha is not appreciating the beauty. He is appreciating, but it is coming out of your merits, coming out of your precepts. And then the strength. You have to live with one meal or morning hours. Imagine that 500 girls and boys, immediately from the school, they come and live with only one meal. Or 2 meals from the dawn to the noon. Secretly, some parents come and pass a can of Coca-Cola or something like that, because in this Burma it's very expensive to get soft drinks. Sugar not available, white bread not available. They have their local things, but it's not allowed there. So that strength, I delayed my monkhood because I can't live night without meal. That's the only reason I postponed. But imagine 500 children, they are living, just made up their mind, and they are very, very strong. And that fasting is the best medicine for the life. They don't know, we are not calling fasting, but from 12 noon to the next day dawn, they have to depend on the liquids. Sometimes just hot water. And then the acceleration. Yesterday we see the speed, Java. First day they don't know who is the Buddha is. Second day they don't know who is the wife of Prince Siddhartha. And what's the son's name, what's the father's name. Slowly they are understanding. And once they come 4 years, they will be issuing a certificate. They can teach others. All the clumsy boys and girls, they learn. And government accept the certificate. I started Satipasala, the mindful school, and we are again asking the children to come here. And each Sunday and Monday we have class underneath the ground floor, and they come and do little walking meditation and sitting meditation and learning little bit of mindful games and mindful activities, and it's a part and parcel of their learning. So now we are almost at the national level, and we have 5 sections in the education sector: preschool, Sunday school, monks education, the school sector, and the higher education sector. All the 5 accepted mindfulness. No one, not a single one knew even what is the meaning of mindfulness. So see the momentum. see the gathering. And last full moon day, Vesak full moon day, there are 40 prison camps in Sri Lanka, 27 to 30 come into the Zoom screen, and I conducted 1.5 hours talk and question and answers. And the general prison, he says, Bhante, how is the program? Then I told, you know how is the program. I did successful. I feel ashamed because the inmates, when they are talking about their meditation, you never can reach that level. They are criminals. They are sentenced to death. But they are practicing. He says, Bhante, when I close my eyes, I see how I kill the person. And I feel how I will get hanged to death. So do you think that I can do meditation? You will come and give the talk. But soon you close your eyes, what happens? But Bhante, you teach me how to do walking meditation. When I stand still, you say if you feel the left leg and the right leg, that is mindfulness. I felt. I knew I am mindful. I am a criminal. And then Bhante, when I lift in the right leg, whole weight into the left leg. And then the right leg, 4 steps Bhante, then I start crying. Being in the prison, and I am sentenced to death, and 4 steps I am mindful. Then onward, I just wanted to tell you, Bhante, we are human. People come and do teaching meditation, it won't work. Your activity, while bathing, while eating, while walking, once they come, one Christian girl told, Bhante, I am by belief Christian, but I came to prison and learning Sunday school in Buddhism. I passed these grades while I was in the prison. And now you come and teach me meditation. At home, I wouldn't have get this chance. What a lucky. So much of momentum. So much of... Then I told the prisoner, the Commissioner General, he says, I feel ashamed, Bhante. His wife is the director for Western area in the education department for the Buddhism. But we are not practicing. The prisoners are practicing. So if someone is asking you, how many explanations you may give, I can't do it because this and that and this and that, you come out with so much of a list. And they have no hope. They are criminals. But practice. So my simple question, should you be a Buddhist to practice? Should you be a Buddhist to gain the momentum? No. Buddhists are so inferior. They say, Bhante, you are not done because you are teaching Buddhism. The great meditation to the normal people, it is not done. It is only preserved for Buddhists. Then I told, who told you? I am a criminal. I got it. It doesn't matter. So I just wanted to give it. I started at 27. I just wanted to give 25 at the age of 24. Now I gave to the age of 6 or 4. They can understand. They can understand. They will teach you. And one Montessori girl went to a mindful school. And after coming back at home, and mother got angry. So, due to some of the character. Then she told, you are angry. You are not mindful, eh? And she's usually a talkative girl. And she says, Amma, mother, you know my Montessori teacher, she also gets angry. I know she is not mindful. But I know, listen to me, she has a reason to be mindful, not too mindful, angry because she is pregnant. And you see, after parturition, she will not be angry, eh? And then she asked Bhante, Mummy, are you also pregnant? The mummy comes and says, Bhante, now she can see everything through. As far as she is at home, no one can break mindfulness. So now children are teaching parents. Now lay people are teaching monks and nuns. But they are practicing the momentum. You won't believe. Because you are part-time, therefore you have a guilt already. I am not fully doing wholehearted, therefore I can't expect results. Whatever the mistakes happening is due to my mistakes. No. Whatever the effort you do, this is the only momentum you can gain it. But you have to be positive. In Buddhism, no ancestral guilt. So when we were in Nilambe, Godwin used to say, there's no translation for guilt in Sri Lankan language. Guilt is not us. We don't have a guilt. We are human. Of course, when you are practicing, we're gathering the momentum. The last one, now it's already 30 minutes gone. Today's topic is the Aroha Parinaha, good proportion. It's a wrong translation, I would say graceful. The gracefulness. At the beginning you are putting your vehicle into the road with your village road and about the culverts and all the kind of thing. When it comes to the highway, when you come to the motorway, the vehicle is running at a 100 kilometers level. Then only the machine performance in a graceful manner. So therefore, when you become a monk, don't expect at the beginning everything to be perfect. You slowly, you are gathering. When you started the mindfulness, don't expect theoretical maximum. You have to understand some or the other. I just introduced mindfulness. Maybe only in sitting, no problem. Maybe only in sitting and walking, no problem. And then someone come and say, you can be mindful while eating, while sleeping, while doing other kind, good. So when it is gathering, ultimately you find everything harmonized in the matrix manner. Development you expect in the lenient way, but the mindfulness never develop in the lenient way. It's a develop in a matrix. It's a universal system. You become part and parcel. You are not trying to be mindful. You understand what the mindfulness is. The Buddha says, Tatadipateya sabbe dhamma, whether you know or not, every action you do mindfully. Not only yogis, any person. But they don't know. They don't know the value of mindfulness. So therefore we are already mindful. And after practicing, after giving a thorough try to be not to be mindful, if possible for one breath. You can't. When you try to be not to be mindful, you are double-fold mindful. So this is the trick. This is a human trick. The grace, when you are practicing, ultimately everything happens with its own manner. You see how the bud is blooming? It's beautiful. How the sun is arising, and how the dawn happens. What a beauty. So one day the person meditating in a Zen center, and he found very difficult to sit 35 minutes in a sitting cross-legged, and he skipped the session, thinking that master do not know. So he climbed up the mountain and found the sunset. So he was so amazed to see the color combination and the events happening. When he is coming, the session is over, master was there, he went and told the master, Master, you won't believe, I did not come for today's sitting. I went to the top of the mountain and see the beauty. So beautiful. The color combination, things happening, and the setup is there, and my mind also very calm. And the master slapped him with the full strength. He told, your mind is much more beautiful than the sunset. We don't believe. We believe only the sunset. To see the beautiful sunset, you must have a beautiful mind. We don't think. We think it only mind will be beautiful if it's a good artist is drawing a good art. Or musician going to give a good orchestra. Or the sunset. No, it's everything mind-made. See, your mind is much, much beautiful. So that is the grace. Earlier you are gaining, now it is coming along your way. Because you are not chasing behind. We usually call it's not a good example. As far as you are chasing behind a girl, she will be boasting. But you stop chasing, she will come. Isn't it? You understand? But it didn't happen to me, otherwise I would have been married and I would have been already crucified. There's a grace. That girl has no complete control about the affair. I also do not have. But after a while there's a kind of a connection. So that grace is, the Buddha says, we have so far in aeons of time, we have died without going to the grace, without going to the middle path, without going to the equilibrium, without going to the good combination. We have done, but not harmonized, not graceful. So that part in our mind is waiting. Stop everything, things will happen in a nice, graceful manner. You have to be a neutral observer, and for that only you must have faith. Let the thing happen, just see. For that only you must have the energy. At the beginning you have to exert energy to come up to that level. Now let the thing happen, just be. And the mindfulness also has to come into the power of mindfulness. So let the mind to go astray, let the mind to be wandering off. Never mind, it will come back. And when you're on the way back, if you can see, what a grace. Whenever the mind is going outside, or whenever the mind is wandering, daydreaming, fantasizing, don't worry. When it is coming back, such a beauty. And the Buddha says, going out, we have multivarious reasons. But on the way back, anyone, whoever it may be, observe exactly the same. Going out due to the various reasons. But coming back is such a graceful thing, and you understand your mind is not so naughty. It's going each and every time. It goes, it comes back. So why don't you observe the coming back? Why you are worrying all the time, telling that mind is wandering, daydreaming, fantasizing, and all the kind of thing. Each time it is wandering, it is coming back. The day you see it, the day you report it, the day you communicate it, you will become the world classic essay writer. So far what you were doing was complaining. Enough. World is full of complaints. But if someone says, yes, my mind is very naughty, it's jumping like anything, but each time it is going, it's coming back. That is called resilience. So with the meditation, the resilience increases. So quickly it goes, so quickly it comes back. So the Richard Davidson found 6 character types. The very first type is, he says, resilient type. Some people, once the adverse situation happens, take so much of hours, so much of days, and brooding upon that and tell you see what unlucky situation, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened. But some people, soon it goes, this thing happened, yes, then what? Why can't you come back? Nothing blocking. And that is what is increasing in meditation. You see, you can draw a line in water and immediately it will be balanced, equipoised, balanced. So you think water meditated to come back to the balance and water level? No, it is nature. It's nature. And Ajahn Chah used to say, you imagine there is a still forest pool, the calm water and pure water, and you can see the other shore in the reflection. And someone is throwing a stone. Then what happens? The surface becomes frills and the image will be distorted. You can't see the bottom. You just wait. What happens? Again it will come to the balance. You think that the forest pool is favoring you? No, it is the nature. So tomorrow, by this time you would have gone home. How much you will disturb the household fellows? They are now at peace. Because you buggers are not there. Tomorrow when you go there, you start disturbing them. You don't know, practice meditation and don't shout and don't close the doors like that and don't open the radios and don't open the TV and start, and they sometimes write me letters telling, Bhante, why can't you keep this meditation for 10 days? These fellows are always forking fingers to the other family members. They are so happy because you all are trapped here. That grace, it's a endowment, it's a human right, it's a birthright. When you are meditating and calming down, breath become calm, and then you can connect with, you can connect with that grace. But you consider this as a loss of your identity and boring and no boundaries, you can't explain it, what the hell that I can't explain it like that, you hate it. And if you ask why you are meditating, I'm meditating to become enlightened. When you enlightened come to you, you chase away, you run away, tell you, be careful, enlightened is coming. And nothing is, I can see anything, because myself is not there. You can't articulate it. You are not graceful. When the enlightenment comes, let it come. Let the wandering mind happen, let the mind to come back and be graceful to understand it. But it is completely human, beyond human. There are three kinds of knowledges. One thing is the opening balance. Some people are born lucky, born wise. That's called Medhavi. And on top of that, we are learning. By learning, we understand the inferential knowledge and radical reflection and vipassana kind, the rational understanding. That's the second thing. That's what present-day world is very worried about. And after that, when you are doing a job, you gain kind of a skillfulness, kind of a grace. First few years, you have to exert. But after a while, you know how to run the machine. You know how to handle the hand and handle the tools. And then gracefully, you can get the done, then the machine is not disturbed. Less wear and tear. That grace is not belongs to you. After meditating, all the qualities belong to the human nature. It's a human quality. It is not Buddha quality. It's our quality. You can't stop it. It's contagious. One person is come to, is gracefully it is going. We call good vibrations. So therefore whole world will be in the conspiracy theory. Whole world will be in the crazy and craving and killing and stealing and sexual misconduct and lying, slander. But your one thought moment of meditation can appease everything. Don't think it is a selfish thing. When it comes to the grace, whatever you experience not belongs to you. So that is why the Buddha says, that's Sukho Buddhanang Upado. The arising of the Buddha is a graceful thing. It's a comfort and a happiness for the world. Sukho Saddhamma Desana. Dhamma is true, but when it is proclaiming it, articulating it, there's a kind of a vibration. Kind of a vibration is not like Michael Jackson. It is not Sasha. Dhamma. And Sukho Sangasa Samagi, when we are practicing, if you feel like brothers and sisters and the family members, you see what a kind of grace, what a kind of sap of the Dhamma. But while practicing, if you are fighting and finding fault with others and all the kind of thing, it's such a wear and tear. So therefore, when you are practicing, you become part and parcel of the same system. The how do you call one pixel of the whole picture. You are no one. The Buddha says, Appakavaluka Ganga Ananta Nibbuta Jina. Imagine the river Ganges. We call Ganga and Ganga. And so much of sand beds. You are just a grain in the sand bed. You are no one. The Buddha says, enlightened beings are more than the number of sand grains in the whole river Ganges. Soon they become enlightened, they disappear. They dissolve among the other members. They never highlight, they never uplift, they never claim, I am superior and I am blah, blah, blah. No. Those who not practicing only, bragging and everything happen. Therefore, grace and the bragging, completely two things. Anyone, when he is talking two sentences, when he is writing two sentences, one can understand is a grace or a bragging. Present day people don't care. They are just worried and they are carried away by the bragging. That's why the advertisements are running the world. But they can't send you mad as far as you are mindful. It's such a protection. It's such a universal protection wherever you may be. So when we were practicing in Panditarama, Sayadaw has no time much for individual, but generally he come and give a Dhamma talk. And at the beginning, at the end, we just go and pay respect in a formal way. He says, wherever you may be, as far as you are diligent, as far as you are mindful, we are relatives. We are Dhamma relatives. The mindfulness and the diligence is our blood. We are blood relatives. Distance doesn't matter. You go and practice. That's all you have to do. Don't think that Buddhism is gone outdated. Never. It will never outdated. It's a lively thing, it's a living thing, like the welding flame, like a spark. It's electric, as far as you are graceful. That a grace from the teacher's grace and all the thing well explained in the faith. But this is not teacher's grace, this is your grace. Because you are practicing, all the time you are practicing. So don't worry, at the beginning you can't do it in the full time. You can't do it wholehearted. But once it come up to the aroha parinaha, that's a graceful. The horse is not only the beautiful, not the strength, not the momentum, but it's very graceful in the warfare. The way they carry the king. The knight is riding the horse, riding along the way, and you can feel the horse and the knight. It's a grace. So Dhamma is not limited to the horse, not limited to the knights, but any person can practice it. But second time I am telling, for the last 40 years I am observing now more and more people understand for this grace, the luxurious things, or gain and fame and everything is nonsense, useless. But having them, no problem. Don't give any value for them. They are disgraceful to the Buddha if it is so. If you are going to give the value for the fame, gain, money, and you are disgraceful to Dhamma. If you are going to give the value for you are disgraceful to Sangha. Sangha means our community. And if you are going to give values for this gain, fame and all that, you are disgraceful to your sila. You cannot be a Sotapanna. You have to give up everything And they will do their job. But still, you see the grace of the Buddha, grace of the Dhamma, grace of the Sangha, grace of your precepts. And you have the basic potential. I mean, you need not to have any extra something. You are full-fledged, full-equipped laboratory. You have to test, just to get it off your doubts. Don't entertain doubts. Don't be guilty, so to say. You are already in Nibbana. And if you live up to that, you feel the grace. And when you are in the grace, you are close to Nibbana. Don't underestimate it. Don't inferiority. It is never appreciated in Buddhism or Buddha Dhamma. So therefore, each and every moment, each and every breath, each and every step you are taking mindfully, don't consider it is insignificant. No, it is like one after the other flower you are putting into the same garland. You are beautiful. But the thing is, we have been taught mindfulness is just waiting, closing your eyes and sitting and waiting. Instead, what about going and do some farming or doing some industrial work or some creation or some productivity? So therefore we think that we are too young to be mindful, and once become old age we can do that. Now you have to do something. You have to earn something. You have to learn something. In the last, in our Sanskrit class, our teacher told, the earlier the Brahmanas, that means high class people in India during the time of the Buddha, they were doing only meditation, jhana. Practicing. Depending on one single meal and having a fireplace, don't go to the village, and they are living on the forest. And ultimately they found life is very difficult, but close to jhana, but difficult. So then they thought living close to the village will be easier. You can have some salt. You can have the prepared meal. So then they started ajana. Jhana, ajana. So ajana is close to the village. Ajana is education. So moment you give education, you give up jhana. Ajana means education. Adhyapana departamento. Upajjhaya. So you can understand how much we are believing ajhana than jhana. It's a very critical point where in the Indian history the people proclaim jhana is difficult, therefore better go for bhakti yoga or rituals, singing bowls and different flags and incense and the flowers. Instead of jhana, they went there. Exactly the same thing happening in Sri Lanka. Recently we had namely started a meditation center, not a meditation center, a gathering, and about 40 people got together. Ultimately it went up to 40, 60. And I promised, but I had no chance to go there. But one of our monks, when they had participated, no one reported that it happened even. But later the lady organizing told, Bhante, everything happened very perfectly. Even without you, everything went nicely. Then I told, thank you very much for the reporting. I thought it is not taken place. No, it took place. And you see, Bhante, over the phone, then the village monk called me, and blackguard and fine fault, you have done the biggest crime on this village. You are splitting the village. Don't do it. If you want to do, go out. Do other kind of meritorial deeds. Why you are meditating here? Luckily she was with us for the 5 years and she never taken carried away. And she till evening, you must come with your younger the son, I will tell you. Don't do this. Soon after the sitting, When I go there, the mother came, asked the son, come, let us go home. Then I told, if you are going, I don't accept it. Bhante, don't put conditions. It's my son, he must learn. Meditation won't work. I am taking, yes, yes madam, you have your own rights. Take the son. You people all are the same. Ajana is better than jhana. That's why we are spending from the 6 to 30 years, that up to 30, learning. That's the only thing going to give you a job or recognition. Or at the end of your name, MSc, BSc or PhD. BS means bullshit. MS means more shit. PhD means pile deep and high. Or you can say permanent head damage, as the Achan Brahma is telling. So I went up to MS. You can understand how much shit. So we are very close with Mindful School. All the top rankers come to this hall, they undergo the retreats. Then I simply say, education system is shit. Everyone accepts, even the secretary of the minister, even the National Institute of Education director, even the assistant or the secretary or the assistant secretary, everyone accepts it's a shit. But I told, I am happy because you accepted the mindfulness. We are teaching mindfulness. Therefore, I am starting with the same point where we have to correct it. So gracefully it is catching. Gracefully it is catching. I am so happy. So therefore, you have to take care about yourself. And you have already started. No one is happy, I know, to the proportion that you are practicing now. To the proportion that the results are gaining, never mind. That's the way it is happening. But imagine you are keeping the momentum, keeping the continuum or sustainability, ultimately you won't believe how true you are, how noble you are, when compared with the other killing, stealing and sexual misconducting people. Don't look at them, don't get worry about them. Let them happen. Then we can see, if I also would have gone to the same path, had not I have been taken into this mindfulness. So therefore this grace is the biggest, the best example is the Buddha. Even by looking at him, even by reciting his name, so much of blessings, so much of easiness for this tense world. And each and every yogi, each and every thought moment you are practicing, you are contributing to the calming down of the earth, cooling the earth, not polluting it. Presently we have triple crisis. Ecosystem is dissolving. And the waste increasingly put into the nature and the environmental pollution. On 5th, I am going to address in the environmental conference on UN. I am going to introduce, this is the external environmental pollution. But inside you, you have the desire, you have the conceit, you have the wrong views. So, moment you are practicing thought moment by thought moment, if the desire is reducing, if your conceit is reducing, if your wrong view is reducing, you are really contributing to the external triple crisis. No other organization can do it. But they are not concerned about their internal commitment. Dating by reducing carbon dioxide or doing this and that, they are just external thing. But each and every thought moment we are practicing gracefully, we are calming down the Mother Earth. We are doing less and less pollution simply because you consume less oxygen. When you are practicing, the oxygen consumption reduces. You see it in the brainwave. starter. So less carbon dioxide emission. But fighting and going and all the kind of things, how much oxygen you are using, how much carbon dioxide you are using. Imagine our small way, gracefully we are practicing. So it is very clear, it's very clear when you sit and meditate, the calming down is an invariable outcome. When you are doing walking meditation, sometimes there may be some agitation, but it end up with calming situation. So therefore, whatever may be the external things, it is burning, I accept, I see. But meanwhile, we are calming down in this burning world. So it's a miracle. We are not confronted with the Buddha, but we have the Dhamma. So we are putting them into practice, and while doing, you must be very beautiful, yes. Must be very strong to maintain your timetable, and you have to gather the momentum that you have to make sure yourself and do it in a graceful manner. And the gracefulness is an endowment. When you are practicing early 3, it will be, naturally you will be graceful. So therefore, with that remark I would like to sum up. So you have individual, you have each and every thought moment you have, wherever you have, your responsibility, commitment, as far as you are mindful, you are appeasing the world, not only you, as a byproduct, one day you will get enlightened too. Thank you very much for listening.